Before we get too started in here, two things off the top of my head. One, I decided to group the rest of this, the whole entire the rest of the East, the Bulls, the Hawks, the Nets, the Raptors, the Hornets, the Wizards, and the Pistons in one video. I'll be doing the same for the Western Conference, which will be the Jazz, the Grizzlies, the Spurs, and the Trailblazers. We'll talk about every single one of those teams and my honest thoughts about them. Plus, I will say this right now, put this on the record. Make sure you remember this spot of the video. Cooper Flag will be playing in the Eastern Conference when he gets drafted. I can almost guarantee you that. So let's talk about the rest of this Eastern Conference teams. So of course, the top 8 of the West of the East, we have already made videos for them. Y'all saw the videos. I made the videos for them. The rest of these, they're for decorations, quite honestly. If I'm being honest, I'm being directly honest. However, if I had to put them in order about who's the best of the best, I'll see both the Raptors and potentially if the Hawks or the Hornets will be in the play-in. However, they will not be in the playoffs. Let's discuss why. First of all, we're talking about the Raptors. The Raptors this all season, one thing they could be happy about is the development of RJ Barrett. I think RJ Barrett is fantastic. I think what the Olympics did for him will be it's going to be great for him. I think overall it's going to be great long term wise for him because what is he 25 points per game? I think he did something like that. He did something crazy for the Olympics. I didn't keep up. I'm not gonna lie. But he played elite basketball with other players and showcased his growth. His growth, I was really surprised that the Knicks just gave him up for who did the Knicks give him up for? OG. Yeah. So I thought that he was moving in a great direction for the organization and thought he was playing well. 20 points, 5.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Looked good out there, in my personal opinion. I thought he looked really well out there, but I guess not great enough for them to keep him long term wise. I, I guess, right? That's a choice. That's my favorite word. That's a choice. However, I think RJ Barrett will step into that all star level role and he will continue to develop for this team, similar to how Scotty Barnes have quietly, and I do mean quietly became one of the best power forwards in the league. I think he's top 5 power forward, I would assume. 20 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, doing a little bit of everything for the team. He got his hand in the cookie jar for everywhere. And he's going to continue. He's going to continue to get better. He might hit that star level player that they haven't seen since Kawhi Leonard, since DeMar DeRozan, since one of those, something like that. So I think Scotty Barnes is excellent. I think he's great. I think this Raptors team is going to be looking better. Brought back Emmanuel quickly on a nice deal, and then Jacopoto's still there for that inside presence. Quite honestly, all the way around, I think this team itself should be able to bounce back after winning only 25 games. You know, they was bottom 10 in points, bottom 10 in rebounds, top 10 in assists, and then bottom 5 when it comes to defense. But I think now with a full year together, I think that should be more than enough for this team to actually do more damage than they didn't do. But I think moving forward, I think the Raptors should be a lot better and back into people's faces again as one of those annoying teams to deal with. The next team we're talking about here has to be the Charlotte Hornets. And news that broke out when I'm recording this, LOL. LaMelo Ball is planning on wearing ankle braces. Good. Because the man stay injured. And it sucks that he keeps getting injured because this team should be moving further along in their rebuild, but they can't if their best player is hurt all the time. And he's not on the court. So we can't see what this team looks like fully healthy. Let's get it. Outside of that, I mean, they brought back Miles Bridges. Alrighty. They ended up trading for Josh Green, brought him over to the team. Cool. And pretty much this team, we're expecting to see a development in Brandon Miller. So LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, and Miles Bridges, along with Mark Williams. I think that's a solid starting lineup. I think that's start. I think what is it? LaMelo Ball, Josh Green, I'm assuming. Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and I'm assuming Mark Williams as the starting lineup. I think that's not too bad. And then whoever comes off the bench to do whatever they need to do, that's fine. The rookie they drafted, I'm not gonna be able to say his name. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Whatever his name is, I forgot who the number 6 pick, the person they drafted. I can't say the name. I'm not gonna mess up the name on purpose or nothing, so I'm just gonna skip that. But whatever the bench players can produce should be good enough. Like I said, they was pretty much bottom 10 in bottom 5 in everything. The defense was at least 22, so that's something, right? I mean, so, but like I said, this is all waiting on LaMelo. If LaMelo Ball gets healthy, plays a full healthy season, we should be good to go. 24 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. That's all-star numbers. I mean, he keep developing the way I think he's going to develop. I think y'all probably think the same way. At some point, he should be a 27-point per game scorer with the elite passing, grabbing the rebounds with his size. He's got to work on his defense, which right now I think he's playing more in the passing lanes to get those steals. That's good enough. I think Coach Charles Lee, I think that's the new coach. Is that the new coach, or he's been coached for a little bit? I'm not too for sure. I'm not kept up on Hornets. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not kept up on the Hornets. I think they should try to run similar to Showtime Lakers, right? Young guys that can run up and down the floor, can score on the fast break, elite offense. I think that's what they should move for. So similar to the Lob City Clippers and Showtime Lakers, they should definitely move forward with that. They got a new front office. Michael Jordan is not the owner anymore, thank God. So hopefully, moving forward, we can see some better moves. We can see some good player development. Hopefully, Charles Lee can get the best out of his team, plus more. And like I said, I think them and the Raptors should fill out the 9 and 10 seeds for the play-in tournament. And it'll be good. It'll be good. They need those development. The Hornets definitely need the development. We need to find something sooner before LaMelo asks out. And that would be horrible for y'all. But let's talk about the rest of the East. Look at the Bulls. I talked about the Bulls before this offseason when they made the trade for Josh Giddey. If you didn't see that video, pretty much to sum it up, I feel like Josh Giddey's ceiling is a worse version of Steve Nash on the offensive end. That means his playmaking is good. He can rebound, so he's better than that. I mean, he's better than Steve Nash rebounding. And then he has potential. I'm not saying he's going to hit that. He has potential to average 20 points per game in the NBA, along with 10 assists. He has potential. Will he does it? I don't know. I don't know how his development is going to be. Apparently, he didn't want to come off the bench for the Oklahoma City Thunder, so he was ready to go to his next team. Chicago just tried to jump on it. Chicago's in the middle of a rebuilding. At the same time, they have a lot of question marks on their team still. They have to wondering, will Josh Giddey hinder the development of both Kobe White and Ayo DeSumo? What Patrick Williams is going to look like coming into this season after missing majority of the season because of injury. We got to see what Matt Berzelius? That's how you say his name, Matthew Berzelius or whatever his name is. We got to see what he looks like in his rookie season. If he's going to be a shooter, a non-shooter, a non-threat, some sort of threat offensively. Is he going to be a good defensive player? That'd be great to have. We'll see what Vucevic. Well, we'll see what Vucevic can do, so they can move on from Vucevic and get something piece back. Wendell Carter back to Chicago. You never know. But this year should be development. Figure out what fits, what doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, get rid of it. That's what the Chicago Bulls should be doing. I wish they'd get running their front office, but whatever. But that's what the Bulls should be doing. Focusing on fit. Let Vucevic play as much minutes as possible. Get that trade value up and shift that man off and grab some freaking picks. Tank for Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg in Chicago will be wonderful. I would love to see Chicago get a superstar level player and build around that. I would love to see a new version of Chicago Bulls with a superstar level, with a potential star level in Cooper Flagg. I would love to see that over there in Chicago. Would love to. But the Atlanta Hawks, on the other hand, need to trade Trae Young. I made a video probably 2 years ago. It ain't on here no more. But basically, I said that Trae Young was on the hot seat of getting moved because it was going to be new management in the front office. Guess what? Checked off the list. Brand new coach, which the only thing that led them is to the play-in and 8 seeds, and they've been bouncing out. That's another check mark right there. And he just lost to DeJounte Murray. That's a check mark off. Clint Capella should be a free agent coming up. That's a check mark off. The team is younger, the team is unexperienced, and Trae Young don't want to be a part of a team that's going to be going into another rebuild. Sadly, we can't get Trae Young on the Knicks. That would have been actually funny from the beef they was having. That would have been funny actually, but the Knicks got a better point guard at this moment in time. But Trae Young's underrated. I'm not gonna lie, Trae Young has become underrated, and that sucks. I would like to see him in a different light, in different situations. So far, at this moment of time, if any team is there a team out east I would love to see Trae Young on? I would like to see him on the Bulls only if they got Cooper Flag moving forward. I'd like to see him on the Heat if they move away from Jimmy Butler. And I would like to see him on the Magic if they could just insert him. You know what I'm saying? I think they can cover up. I think defensively they can cover up a lot of stuff that Trae Young does, but on the offensive end, Trae Young helps that team out in general. I think the Hawks need to move it around. It's over with. This team, it ran its course so quickly with Trae Young. They had the number 1 draft pick, and y'all know how I feel. If you get the number 1 draft pick, it's kind of time to rebuild. Quite honestly, it's time to move around and stop playing. And the Trae Young era just have not been successful. Outside of the false Eastern Conference Finals run in 2021, they shouldn't be there. We all know they shouldn't have been there, but they was there. Outside of that, they didn't do absolutely nothing for Trae Young. My personal opinion, they didn't do anything. They didn't make no significant changes. There was no blockbuster add-on to the team. It just didn't work out. And I think right now, which is crazy to say, right now I think it's okay if you trade Trae Young. Trade him while he's young, in his prime, still giving you great numbers. 25 points, 3 rebounds, 11 assists is what the man averaged last year. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. It's time. It's time. Just let him go ahead. Put him somewhere else where he can thrive in a situation. He only played 54 games last year, which is the lowest so far of his career. But I think he'll bounce back. I think he'll definitely bounce back and play more games. He's about efficient as a Trae Young efficiency can be. I ain't gonna lie. I think he's a great player. He's underrated. He's undermined because he's playing in Atlanta right now, and Atlanta ain't on nothing. First time he's missed this is like the second time he missed the playoff, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna say it's the first time he's in the playoffs since they've been competing. Let's do it like that. Since they've been competing, this is the first time he's missed the playoffs, and I highly doubt he's thinking about doing it 2.0. I mean, it's okay. If you get off of Trae Young, start focusing more on the other teams, start focusing more on the younger guys that's on the roster right now. I think long-term wise, that would be best for Atlanta. The number 1 draft pick, Richardson? I don't know how to say that name. He might be something. He might not be something. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Up next, we got to talk about the Brooklyn Nets. And good. Wonderful. You guys are rebuilding. It's about god dang on time. Rebuild. You want Cooper Flag on your team. I don't think y'all deserve Cooper Flag on your team, but y'all need something. This year, it is about, I'm not even going to lie to you guys. This year is about pushing the absolute limit for each player on this team and trading them fools for something else. I don't care what you got to do because godly, let's be honest here. Anybody that's not young that I want on my team, I'm giving you a bunch of minutes and hoping that you do something with those minutes so I can balance you out. So if Ben Simmons can average 13 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, I'm pushing that. Like, hey, anybody want Ben Simmons? Look, he's playing really good right now. If I can get Dennis Schroeder averaging 17 to 18 to 20 points per game, I'm pushing him out the door once he's done. If Dorian Finney-Smith is hitting freaking 45% from 3, I'm pushing him out the door. Rebuild. It's time for the ultimate rebuild. This team is still too solid to where they can still compete, which is disgusting work. They can still compete with this team. So, like I said, that's why I'm more in favor of them giving out the minutes, pushing the hardcore on them, on these players to develop and get them off the team. That's my personal opinion. Get them off the team as soon as they develop to whatever they're supposed to develop to. Push them out the door. Just me, though. That's just me. Get back as much draft picks you can get. Get back players that's actually worth something. And then hope. And hope that you can somehow land Cooper Flag. If not Cooper Flag, land a top 3 pick. Start your rebuild off the correct way this time. That's what the plan should be. Hopefully the front office understand. I hope the coach understand that, because it be the coaches that be messing up sometimes. So that's the goal for the Brooklyn Nets. We're looking at the Washington Wizards, and they got Alsar. He did not play too well in the summer league, but that's okay. What did this team need to do? Quite honestly, I have no idea. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I don't even know what they're trying to do. That's my thing. I don't know what they're trying to do. With the mixture of having Marvin Bagley, Kyle Kuzma, Jonas Valanciunas, all on the team. Mix that with the disappointment that Jordan Poole was. Hoping that what's his name? I can't even say the man's name. Val Corbilali. I don't know how to say his name. I'm not gonna lie. I messed that up. I'm sorry. Sadiq Bey, Michael Brogdon. Well, mixture of just a lot of role players. Quite honestly, this is a lot of role players. I don't know what we're doing here. So very similar to the Brooklyn Nets. Man, push them out there. Not only push them out there, but hope that these players do something where you can trade them. Now, Marvin Bagley's 25. You kind of want to keep that around a little bit longer to see what else he can do. But if he plays just good enough, like rookie season, second year Marvin Bagley, push that out. You know what I'm saying? Push that out. Try to get something different. You know what I'm saying? Michael Brogdon, I think you just wanted him to help the young guys out, the next set of guards or whatever out for a little bit. Ship him off too. You probably can get a first round if you get him playing well. Same thing with Kyle Kuzma. I don't know what they're planning on doing with Kyle Kuzma. They just gave him money. Maybe the Washington Wizards is just trying to have these names on there that plays basketball well. Maybe that's the goal. I don't know, but hopefully the idea for Alex Sarr is to develop next to Jonas Valanciunas, and he does something. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I think that should be the goal. The goal should be for him to just play physical, understand how to play the game of basketball, understand his role on the team, and move forward from there. He's young. He's 19. 19 young player. It's been a while since y'all had a second round pick. Very long time, I think. It's been a cool minute, and I know that. So, moving forward, maybe he is the future of your franchise. Just hope Jordan Poole steps it up, takes another leap or something. We got to hope something. Something from the Washington Wizards. It's anything and everything for the Washington Wizards. And then finally, the last team we're talking about here happens to be the Detroit Pistons. Now, the Detroit Pistons, from what I can understand and what I'm seeing right here, it seems as though they're trying to get their offensive game up in the spacing floor up around Cade. Because drafting Ron Holland, who's not a shooter, Jalen Duran, who is a monster rebounder, right? Those two guys. Sherrod Thompson, not a shooter. Tim Hardaway Jr. been struggling from shooting. And Isaiah Stewart was practicing shooting. Even B-Ball Paul. I don't think he's that good of a shooter. But I think J.B. Bickerstacker said, I want spacing. And when words of spacing, they gave him Malik Beasley. That's spacing. Tobias Harris, that's going to be spacing. Hopefully Javen Ivey is a spacer. Hopefully Marcus Sasser is a spacer. Quite honestly, this team is interesting. I don't know what to expect from this team. This team could be the 11th or 12th seed by the end of the year. I mean, they had a horrible, and I do mean horrible, with lose streak last year, which affected them heavily and affected a lot of people's thought process on the Detroit Pistons. But I'm like, hold on now. A young team, they were just out there, they suck. But calm down now. We had a Mighty Williams. Mighty Williams didn't want to coach. Now we got a real coach in here. So hopefully they can lock down and get to getting, because Cade 22 and a half points, 4.5 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 1 steal. That's not bad. That's not bad for him. That's not bad. He's in that development role. I can't wait to see what else he can do. You know what I'm saying? So that's the goal, right? That should be the goal, is with a real coach out there now. Hopefully he can get the best out of the players. JB Bickerstack. I think JB Bickerstack is a pretty solid coach, though. I kind of like JB Bickerstacker. He wasn't too bad. He's not too bad. He came from Cleveland and everything. They got rid of him, which was, in my personal opinion, that was still dumb, in my personal opinion. I think he's done well. I think he's done well for the time he has. But this is a different type of talent that he's going to be coaching. So, with that being said, we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens. But I think I think he could definitely get the best out of these players and get them understanding how to play the game of basketball the correct way and develop this team. But those are my personal opinions on the entire last half of the East. I'll be doing the West team the next day. But you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about your favorite team. Who you think is going to win the East in general. Do you think Cooper Flag will be an Eastern player like I think he will be? Y'all let me know. And I'll catch you guys on the next basketball topic.